Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, students. Hope you had a great weekend. So, without further ado, let us continue with our online classes. Please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do subscribe so that you may get early notifications, or in case if you miss any video, you can go back and watch it. If you want to revise something, you can replay it, you can repeatedly watch it as well. So kindly do us the favor and subscribe to all our channels. Thank you very much. Now, today, before in the last two lectures we discussed the literary terms. Today we are not going to continue with that same topic. We will do the literary terms, but in the later chapters. Only one lecture is remaining in that context. Today we are going to start a new unit, and the unit is unit number 2, which consists of three chapters: unit 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. 2.1 is Its Country for Me, that we are going to start today. 2.2 is Our Environment, and 2.3 is Tears of Nature, which is a poem. Its Country for Me is written by Patricia Demuth. She's an American writer, and the SLOs for this chapter would be understanding the theme, the message that is given, knowledge and understanding regarding the comprehension questions, applying the same in attempting the paper. So the same SLOs are applied as far as the other text lessons are concerned. Now, regarding the author, Patricia Demuth and her husband grew up in small towns in Iowa, where they had friends who were part of a family farm team. When they decided to write a book about rural America, they found a farm in Wisconsin to serve as a setting for their story. They took their young sons with them and lived in Wisconsin, where she wrote the book Joelle, Growing Up a Farm Man, which was awarded Best Children's Book of 1982 by the Society of Midland Authors. So Patricia Demuth basically wrote a complete book on Joelle, the character that we are going to study in the small part of the text that has been taken from the book. And she was interested in the village life, the country life, the rural life of America, and she was studying the life and growth and development and progress of a young boy by the name of Joelle. And Joelle was a very hard-working guy. Joelle was not a normal person. He was very hard-working, and when we study the text, we will find out that he was extraordinary. He was extraordinary in his work, in his devotion and dedication to work. What he was doing, whether he was studying, or either he was doing housework or household work or farm work, he was truly focused on the task, truly dedicated and truly devoted. So let us start with the text. It was 11:15 at night when Joelle, reading in bed, heard his mother call up, "Joelle, come up, come and feed Lambie, will you?" She usually fed the orphaned lamb, but tonight she had come home late from a meeting and did not want to go to the barn wearing good clothes. So it was night time. It was 11:15, and Joelle was studying something when his mother called, and she called him because she needed help with the task, and the task was to feed the orphaned lamb. It was a small lamb whose mother died during the birth of this small lamb, and Joelle was given the task to feed the lamb because her mother just came from a meeting late at night wearing clean and neat clothes. They were not suitable for farm work, and she wanted Joelle to help her out in this task. The small dog, Jessica, jumped up from the doorstep as Joel came outside. A pair of overalls pulled over his pajamas, the laces of his boots dangling loose. "Hey, Jess," he greeted her, ruffling the dog's thick fur with one hand as they loped together to the barn. So they had a family pet by the name of Jessica. She was outside, and when Joel came outside, she became excited and joined Joel going towards the farm. Joel was not dressed; he was dressed for his sleep, but he now loosely dressed himself so that he could complete the task. He was wearing his shoes, which were loose, and he just pulled over an overalls, that is a trouser or a loose trouser over his sleeping pajamas, so that he could manage the cold as well. So he went outside, and both the dog and Joel, and the dog name is Jessica, Joel call her Jess, and he is petting the dog as well, he's loving the dog as well, and they together go to the barn. Lope together, loped मतलब walk करना, अटकेलियाँ खाना, दोनों सेंसेस में इस्तेमाल होता है. रन करना, भागते हुए जाना. So they were excited. Joel was not bored, or Joel was not making faces behind his mother's back. He was excited and ready to work. So he got up quickly and was there in a minute. In his other hand, he carried Lambie's milk replacement in a soda pop bottle capped by a black nipple. The March air was cold, and the yard light caught the mist of Joel and Jessica breaths. A dim crescent moon hung low over the east hayfield, otherwise the night was black. So Joel was carrying Lambie's meal as Lambie's mother had died. So they had to give the lamb a substitute, a proper substitute, and it was milk. And it was the special feeder or a utensil was devised for that purpose. They had a soda pop bottle on which was a black nippled cap, and it was cold night because both the mist coming from their breath can be seen, and the night was not cloudy, the moon was shining, but it was dim, it was cold, and there was light, and on the east side there was a hay field. Hay घास को कहते हैं, यानी ख़ास किस्म का चारा जो होता है उसे कहते हैं. So it was a hay field, यानी चारे के लिए खेत उगाए गए थे. Otherwise the night was black. Apart from that, the night was dark. It was 11:15. You can imagine what type of night and what time of night was it. It was cold as well. Usually children do not go out in cold, but here we have Joel, who is studying, and his mother just calls. She just came from the meeting, and she just gave him a task, and he was there in a Fiji. So he was not worried about the task. He was ready at hand. He wanted to cooperate with his family. He wanted to assist the family in the farm life. "Here, Lambie," called Joel, opening the door to the barn where the sheep are kept in winter. The lamb sprang up from her warm straw bedding and sucked down the bottle in 30 seconds. Her mother had died giving birth to her a week before. This have been Joel's 33,000 trips to the barn, since he goes in and out of barn at least 10 times a day. So here was Joel with the bottle. He gave the bottle to the little lamb, who suckled on it for just 30 seconds, and it was finished. The lamb was excited to see Joel. The lamb wanted food. It was hungry, and she just finished her food in a quick manner. The mother of the lamb, the unfortunate lamb, was died during childbirth just a week before. And here we have something about Joelle as well, the dedication of Joelle as well. This may have been Joelle's 33,000 trips to the barn. Now 33,000. Which literary term comes to your mind when we when we mention such type of exaggeration, when the exaggeration is used? So 33,000 trips to the barn, since he goes in out of a barn at least 10 times a day. सो 33,000 दफ़ा आया होगा इस बॉन्ड में, यानी ये कौन सी वो लिटरेरी टर्म है, एग्जेजरेशन की है, राइटर ने मुबालगे से काम लिया है. कुछ जहन में है आपके कोई लिटरेरी टर्म? सो इफ़ यू नो द आंसर, काइंडली मेंशन इट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. सो इट्स एग्जेजरेशन, एंड वी हैड द 33rd trip to the barn. Joel knows these farm buildings better than he knows his own bedroom. He surely depends more waking hours in them. He knows how to care for the animals they shelter as well as he knows how to care for himself. Farming is Joel's world. So here we know something about Joel now. We have a description that Joel is a dedicated worker. He likes working in the farm. He does not shy away from hard work. He can do manual work. He can do labor work. He also studies. So he is not afraid to take up the challenge. He is usually awake. He does not like to be lazy, as we people usually are. Particularly in these lockdown days, many of us are feeling the boredom and the laziness as well creeping into us. But here we have Joel, an inspiration that Joel does not shy away from manual and hard work, and he is ready to take up any task because he has grown up in these farm buildings and he knows the dedication which is involved and the hard work which is involved in making such farms a success. So he has spent many hours in these farms working and assisting his parents, and look at him that he is just in bed. It's a cold night, nobody likes to go outside in a cold night, and Joel is there ready for the task. At 11:15 even his mother called, and he was not afraid to take up the challenge. He just went outside and fed the lamb. So as far as farming is concerned, Joel likes farming. As the writer says, farming is Joel's world. Joel Holland has lived on this 245-acre farm since he was born 13 years ago. It is the farm of his ancestors. He lives in the house that his great grandfather built. The land he helps his father and brothers farm is the land his great great grandfather James Holland bought in 1860. James was an Irish immigrant. He drove a team of horses to plough the land and make it ready for corn. So we have a background history of Joel now. It's not a small farm, it's a big farm. It's a 245-acre farm. Joel is 13 years old, and this farm was built by his ancestor Jad Amjad Yani, and it was his great grandfather who built it in the 1860 by the name of James Holland. He was actually from Ireland, but he immigrated to the USA, to Wisconsin, and he had a pair of horses or a team of horses which he used to plow the land. यानी खेती बाड़ी के लिए उसने उस ज़मीन को नरम किया, and they used to they used to grow fields of corn, मकई. So this was not a small farm which they were managing, and Joel was ready for the task. He was taking up the challenges and doing the work of his ancestors. Be careful, this paragraph is very important because lots of objectives are here. The land size is given, age of Joel is mentioned, the great grandfather name is mentioned, then we have the year of 1860, then the nationality of the great grandfather is also mentioned. So keep these objectives in mind. Now, 5 generations later, 5 generations, Joel plows the same land atop a tractor that has the power of 120 horses. The rich black soil has been pampered by Highlands for over 120 years. Farming is Joel's heritage. The Holland farm is near Scalesmount, a tiny town of 400 people snuggled in the northwestern corner of Illinois. The land there is hilly, rolling in great waves. Now, again, lots of objectives. 5 generations, yani पांचवी नस्ल है Joel. He uses a tractor which has a power of 120 horses. They have been farming the land for over 120 years. And the Holland farm is near the location of Scalesmount. This is the name of a place, which is a town with the population of just 400. And it's in the northwestern corner of Illinois. Illinois is also name of a place. The land there is hilly, rolling in great waves. वेवी हिल्स हैं, यानी ये ऊपर नीचे की ज़मीन है, जैसे वेव्स बनती है ना समंदर की, इसी तरह की ये माउंटेन वैली है. और you can understand that lots of objectives are mentioned in these two consecutive paragraphs. A lot of information is given regarding the Holland farm, the location, the area in which they are plowing the land. In fact, just a few miles away is the highest point in the state. Joel attends public school in Scalesmount in a split level brick building with 235 other grade school and high school pupils. About half the students are farmers. This year, Joel will graduate from 8th grade and begin 9th, but his class will not get larger except for three foster children who came and left. Joel has been with the same 19 kids since first grade. Another important paragraph with lots of objectives. Highest point is just few miles away from their place. Joel attends a school in Scale Mount which has a structure of split level brick with 235 students, except for 2 or 3 foster children. Foster children, अमेरिकन सिस्टम में फोस्टर चिल्ड्रन वो होते हैं कि वो ऐसे बच्चे होते हैं जिनकी कोई केयर ना कर सकता हो, तो वहाँ पे फोस्टर केयर एजेंसीज जो हैं किसी और पेरेंट के हवाले उन बच्चों को कर देते हैं, तो वो बच्चे फोस्टर केयर में चले जाते हैं और ऐसे माँ बाप को फोस्टर पेरेंट्स कहते हैं. तो 2-3 बच्चों के अलावा जो कि यहाँ पे आके रहे और फिर चले गए, इसके अलावा जितने भी बच्चे हैं उनमें से हाफ से ज़्यादा तो फार्मर्स हैं. और जो जोएल की क्लास की स्ट्रेंथ है वो 19 बच्चे हैं, सेम जो हैं फोस्टर चिल्ड्रन के अलावा, जिनके साथ जोएल जो है वो पढ़ रहा है शुरू से. तो टोटल ये 19 + 1 20 स्टूडेंट्स हो गए, यानी 20 स्टूडेंट्स की क्लास है. सो लॉट्स ऑफ ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कि ये ऑब्जेक्टिव्स पेपर में एमसीक्यूज़ की सूरत में आ सकते हैं. सो यू मस्ट रिमेंबर दीज पॉइंट्स, यू मस्ट रिमेंबर एंड यू मस्ट नोट देम डाउन एज वेल. I know every kid in practically the whole school, he says. Now, this is Joel talking. Some of those guys in schools on TV don't even know the people in their own class. Joel is a good student, though reluctant to discuss it. Yeah, I guess I pull mostly A's and some B's. In national testing, Joel scored an overall 99%, meaning that only 1% of students scored higher. His studies are typical of any 8th graders in the United States. We are doing percent in mathematics, English, forget it. In history, we are up to FDR. In science, we do experiments like taking this chemical HCl and blowing up pieces of chalk. So, here Joel is talking about his class fellows. Uh, he's talking about the people of the TV. They mean the security guys, maybe, or the principals, or the staff. That they do not know each and every student, but Joel knows each and everyone. Apart from that, Joel is also a very good student. He does not discuss it. He is reluctant. हिचकिचाता है इन चीज़ों के बारे में डिस्कस करने से. Because of his humble nature, he is very humble. कि वो mostly A's और B's ले लेता है, यानी अच्छे ग्रेड में कोर्स वो स्कोर करता है. और नेशनल टेस्टिंग में जोएल का जो स्कोर है दैट इज़ ओवरऑल 99%, यानी ये परसेंटाइल है एक्चुअली, कि वो टॉप 100 में जो है वो फॉल करता है नंबर 1 पोजीशन पे. कि ये देख लीजिए कि 99% स्कोर पे उसका ये पता चलता है कि अगर 100 बच्चों ने टेस्ट दिया है तो जोएल जो है वो नंबर 2 पोजीशन पे होगा या नंबर 1 पे होगा. अगर 1000 बच्चों ने दिया है तो 1000 का अगर हम 99% साइड पे कर देते हैं तो इसका मतलब है कि जोएल जो है जो टॉप के 100 बच्चे हैं उनमें होगा ये, या टॉप के जो 10 बच्चे हैं उनमें होगा. क्योंकि परसेंटाइल स्कोरिंग जो होती है वो चेंज होती रहती है. ये आपका NTS का जो टेस्ट होता है उसमें भी ऐसी ग्रेडिंग होती है. मसलन आपने 99 परसेंटाइल हासिल किया, इसका मतलब है कि आपसे 99 बच्चे जो हैं वो नीचे हैं और आप जो हैं वो टॉप पोजीशंस पे हैं. सो दिस इज़ हाउ दिस परसेंटेज इज़ कैलकुलेटेड. और ये नेशनल टेस्टिंग जो सर्विस है उनकी US की, उसमें ये चीज़ है. 8 ग्रेड की जो स्टडीज़ होती हैं वो टिपिकल जैसे यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में होती हैं वो उसी तरह की हैं. मैथमेटिक्स में वो परसेंटेज कर रहा है, इंग्लिश को वो आसान समझता है, इंग्लिश फॉरगेट इट, यानी इंग्लिश की तो बात ही ना करो, इंग्लिश तो मुझे बहुत आसानी से आती है. इन हिस्ट्री वी आर अप टू FDR. FDR इज़ बेसिकली फ्रैंकलिन डिलानो रोजवेल्ट. अगर आप अपना वोकेबलरी सेक्शन देखें तो उसमें इसको एक्सप्लेन किया गया है. फ्रैंकलिन डी रोजवेल्ट जो था ही वाज द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स. इन शॉर्ट ही इज़ नोन एज FDR. In science, we do experiments like taking this chemical HCl and blowing up pieces of chalk. So they are also doing some lab activity as well. They are doing some experiments in lab as well as an 8th grader. So Joel is very good. He's very attentive towards his studies as well. But when the school bus drops Joel off and he runs up the quarter-mile lane to his farmhouse, slips out of his sneakers and pulls on his boots, then his life is no longer typical of an average teenager. His foot gear is the clue. Joel wears boots every day, no matter what the season is. That's because he does chores every night after school and for several hours on weekends. The chores are boot work, hard, heavy and sometimes dirty. सो जैसे ही जोएल को स्कूल से ड्रॉप किया जाता है तो जोएल फिर नॉर्मल टीनेजर जैसे आप लोग हैं वो नहीं रहता, जिनकी केयर की जाती है, जिनको घर में ना खाना पूछा जाता है और सोने का कहा जाता है और ट्यूशन के लिए भेज दिया जाता है. नहीं, जोएल जैसे ही गाड़ी से उतरता है तो पहला काम वो क्या करता है, वो अपना ड्रेस चेंज करता है. एंड ही इज़ प्रिपेयर्ड विद हिज बूट्स. फार्म बूट्स वो पहनता है, अपने ड्रेस को वो चेंज करता है, फार्म ड्रेस पहनता है. ही गोज़ आउट एंड ही स्पेंट मोस्ट ऑफ हिज टाइम इन डूइंग चोर्स. चोर्स कहते हैं हाउस होल्ड वर्क को. तो यहाँ पे हाउस होल्ड वर्क उसका क्या है, फार्म वर्क है, और वो घंटों लगाता है. वीकेंड्स पे तो और से भी ज़्यादा लगाता है. And these chores are boot work, heavy and sometimes dirty. यानी उसमें लोड उठाना भी है, सफाई भी करनी है. लेकिन जोएल जो है इन कामों से नहीं घबराता. स्कूल बस से उतरती ही जोएल की पर्सनालिटी एक स्टूडेंट से एक मुकम्मल फार्मर में तब्दील हो जाती है. The daily chores that Joelle does help her are to run the farm and to support the family. Joel is a teenager, but he does the work of an adult. Unlike most families where the parents alone make the money, farm families work together. Each child's labor is not only important to the family's well being, it is essential. The Hollands operate a self sufficient farm typical of many in the corn belt. अच्छा जी, कॉर्न बेल्ट से मुराद यहाँ पे ये है कि जो एरिया जिस एरिया में जो लोग फार्मिंग कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे ज़्यादातर कॉर्न यानी मकई उगाई जाती है. इस एरिया को इस वजह से कॉर्न बेल्ट भी कहा जाता है कि ये कॉर्न उगाने की पट्टी है. सो जोएल जो काम करता है वो फार्म में फैमिली की मदद करने के लिए करता है, उनको सपोर्ट करने के लिए करता है. लेकिन जोएल बेसिकली है तो टीनेजर, लेकिन जितना वो काम करता है वो किसी बड़े बंदे से कम नहीं करता. यानी ही इज़ एन एक्सपीरियंस्ड चैप्ट, यानी एक्सपीरियंस्ड फार्मर है. जो बाकी फैमिलीज़ हैं, यानी जैसे हमारी फैमिलीज़ हैं या बाकी फार्म फैमिलीज़ हैं, सॉरी बाकी सिटी फैमिलीज़ हैं, वहाँ पे पेरेंट्स अकेले काम करते हैं. लेकिन फार्म फैमिलीज़ में ऐसा नहीं होता. पेरेंट्स अकेले काम नहीं करते, बच्चे भी उनके साथ सपोर्ट करते हैं. और हर एक बच्चे का काम जो है वो इम्पॉर्टेंट है. इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर द वेल बीइंग ऑफ द फैमिली, और ये ज़रूरी भी है. ये सेल्फ सफिशेंट फार्म है. सेल्फ सफिशेंट यानी जो इनको बाहर से किसी चीज़ की ज़रूरत नहीं, ये खुद ही चीज़ों को मैनेज कर लेते हैं. There are livestock, cattle and a few sheep in each herd. They keep some females to replenish the stock. The rest of the animals are sold for slaughter and land on American stables as beef and lamb. The Hollands grow virtually all the food their animals need: corn, oats and hay. They sell the surplus. Most of their money comes from selling the animals themselves. So this is the last paragraph for today. अच्छा, फार्मिंग उनकी ऐसी है कि लाइफ स्टॉक यानी कैटल और शीप जो है वो खुद वो करते हैं, यानी उनकी अफजाइश करते हैं. ज़्यादातर वो जानवरों को बेच देते हैं, लेकिन अक्सर उनमें फ़ीमेल्स को वो बैलेंस करते हैं ताकि नया स्टॉक भी आता जाए, नए जानवर भी आते जाएं. और जो बाकी जानवर भेजे जाते हैं वो बेसिकली फूड के लिए भेजे जाते हैं ताकि वो लोगों के लिए वो मतलब डिनर और लंच का काम कर सकें. ज़्यादातर बीफ और लैम्ब यानी जो बीफ और मटन. द हॉलैंड्स जो है, ये जो फैमिली है, ये वर्चुअली तमाम किस्म का जो चारा है जानवरों का वो भी खुद उगाते हैं, जिसमें कॉर्न है, ओट्स और है ओट्स चने टाइप. और ये जो सरप्लस है, यानी जो सरप्लस है चारा जो होता है उसको भी वो बेच देते हैं. लेकिन ज़्यादातर जो इनके पास सोर्स ऑफ इनकम है, ज़्यादातर जो इनको पैसे मिलते हैं वो जानवर बेचने के मिलते हैं. सो दिस इज़ ऑल folks. This was today's reading. I hope you have understood it. I hope you have understood the character. I hope you have noted down the objectives as well. So a few questions before I conclude the video, and the questions are very simple. Where did the Hollands come from? Who was James Holland? What is Joel's age? In which class does he read? What was the score of Joel in national testing? And what is the area of their land? And how many students does how many students are there in the Scales Mount School? What is the other name of Scale Mount? What type of belt it is known for? What type of belt it is? How many students study in Joel's class only? What kind of school building do they have? How did James Holland, the great grandfather, plow the field? How does Joel plow the field? What was the name of their family pet? What is their family pet? And when did his mother arrive at night to call Joel to feed the lamb? What was Joel doing at that time? what do you think, Joel? What do you think? Now, this is your personal observation that I want to know. What do you think Joel thinks of farming? Do you think he likes farming or not? So these are the questions that I have asked. You can revise these questions. You can replay these questions and try to answer them in the comment section. Please do cooperate. Please do respond accordingly. I do not want you all to, one of you, to answer all the questions. I want different answers, different from different students. So thank you very much, and that's it for today.